But City, if they win the derby, have the opportunity to go level on points with Arsenal. If United are victorious, they could leapfrog potentially Brighton and Newcastle into the top 6. So welcome along. Great to have your company. What a day. It is Derby Day, Match Day Live. And what a lineup we've got for you. In the red corner, Dimitar Berbatov, who never lost a Manchester derby in the red of United. In the blue corner, Sean Wright-Phillips, who played in 15 of them, and as he never tires of telling us, scored in 2 of them as well. And just for the neutral view, the all-time Premier League record goal scorer, Alan Shearer. Good to see you. We've busted budget today to get you through all together, haven't we? New suits as well. Berb, a big day on Manchester. Big day for you, though, today, particularly, isn't it?
Tell me about it, yeah, it is.
Why is that?
I'm sitting next to my idol. When I was growing up, you can see I had a shirt of him. My parents used to make for me, and I was so happy back then. He doesn't probably know what that means to me when I was growing up, because of him, I wanted to score goals. Even when you want to give up, you check some of the goals and you get up again. You say, "Let's go, let's go." So big thank you to you.
Very kind.
Yeah, it is. And you know this. I tell you this all the time when I see you. Sure.
I always said he was such a knowledgeable footballer.
You never hammered him on the telly, did you?
Never will. He was one of the best.
And you played against him in the Champions League?
I did. Probably you don't remember. I played with CSKA Sofia in '99, I think it was, against Newcastle.
What happened?
They beat us, obviously, both games. Yeah.
How many did he get?
I think he scored in both games. But again, when you meet your heroes, when you start to play and you're just shaking, you don't know what to say. Actually, I wanted to take his shirt, but one of the defenders take it before me. He never gave it to me afterwards,
You should have asked. I would have given you it.
But still, years later, I had the chance to see him, speak, work. Now, we work together.
We do.
Brilliant.
And you were working together on the Manchester derby. So, City have won 6 of the last 8. I know your confidence levels sometimes. So, away at Old Trafford, what are you thinking today?
I think if you go off performance, I think even though Man United have picked up the results, they have picked up the whole game performance across the 90 minutes hasn't been great, and they've been lucky a lot of the times. So, based on that, you would say City win, but it's a derby. When there's a derby and that comes into play, fixtures you've had before or performances that were terrible no longer exist. It's pretty much almost everybody has a clean slate walking into this game, and I think it's going to be harder than people expect.
But put forward Manchester United's case today.
Well, listen, I agree with everything that Sean said, because it's a derby and it doesn't matter where you're on the table. I think it's just one game where everything can happen, and it's about who wants it more. Obviously, I think City on paper are the favourites, based on what they achieved so far, and the treble winners, of course. But still, United, in my mind, if they are not making any easy, silly mistakes that can lead to goals, and if you do this against a team like City, who have quality to hurt you any way possible, you're going to suffer. So stay concentrate, try at least not to make any mistakes, and then you have a chance to score, I'm sure.
I think it's people who are watching will maybe sometimes think, well, hang on a minute, how can it be so different? How can it be different in a derby game with the players that City have got? Then you'd expect them to beat Manchester United. Well, the guys have already said it. You can get away with a little bit more. The atmosphere is very different. Attitudes change, both from players and officials. So they're absolutely right in everything they say, that anything can happen in a derby game. Forget about form, forget about who the best players are. You just cannot predict a derby game.
What about the defeats recently in the league, the likes of Wolves for Manchester City? Would that be in United's mind as well today?
No, I don't think anyone's going to think of that. I think that the City boys themselves shrugged it off as quick as they did, bounced back with 2 great and positive results, Champions League, and obviously beating Brighton's never easy. And now they'll just focus on the games coming up. And I don't think United will be thinking about those games that City lost either, because they know normally early on in the season, City tend to drop points, whether it's a draw or lose. But for whatever reason this year, City, until those points, were winning pretty much all their games. So I don't think United will pay too much mind to that. Like we've all said, it's a derby. The players are going to want to do this not just for themselves, but for the fans, who most probably been talking about this for like the last 3 weeks.
Is it important for United to remind themselves that City are beatable, though, in the last few weeks? We've seen them beaten in the Premier League.
Of course, they are beatable, and I think some of the mistakes they did in the previous games will be pointed out to them by Ten Hag and say, look, we have a chance. I'll give you the plan, go out there and try your best to do it. And as I said, as long as United don't make any mistakes, they'll be fine, in my opinion, because it's a derby and it's possible to win it, even though you're not the favourite on paper.
From a neutral view, from what you've seen of both sides so far this season, what do United have to do particularly well if they are going to get a result today?
They cannot afford to make mistakes. They have to try and be a little bit more adventurous, but that will be very difficult against this City side, because we know if you open up, they've got the players all over the park to punish you. And I would think they would have to play a pretty faultless game today to get something out of this game. They can do that. The crowd can get behind them. They can get off to a really good start, and then the crowd will be up for it, and then the players can respond to that. But in terms of ability-wise, then, I mean, this City side is better than them. They go into it with more confidence. When I've looked at United recently, they might have got results, but they certainly haven't played well. And Sean's right that they have been pretty fortunate. So you would think that they're going to be up against it today. But if they get off to a good start and get this crowd going, you never know.
And as we've said, there will be a lot of emotion in the air at Old Trafford today.